YouTube. Happy Wednesday to you. How you doing today? Take a seat with me. Want to have a little quick discussion with you, if you don't mind. I was thinking, when we're younger, we want to have things in this life. And we want to have a lot of things in this life. Those things vary. They vary from wanting to have cars, wanting to have jewelry, wanting to have certain clothing, wanting to have all sorts of things. There's nothing wrong with wanting things, especially if you're from the States, like I am. We live in a consumer environment. We live to consume. We work hard to turn around and spend our money on things to consume. That's just the reality over here in the States. And the reason I say that is because I intend for my videos to go worldwide. But that's how we are in the United States. We're a people of consumers. That's what we do. But like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. And when you're younger, you want to achieve the goals of having certain things. But like I told you also in the past, you want to have assets, not those liabilities. But as time goes by, you start reaching your middle age and your elderly years, you start to realize that, man, I've accumulated a whole lot of stuff. A whole lot of stuff that I don't even know what to do with. I mean, at the time, certain things I was purchasing, I was told had value. But here we are 20, 30 years later, we're still holding on to certain things that don't have value, or don't have the intended value that they were supposed to have. And you know what I mean? Because we all have things that we should let go of. We all have things that have no value whatsoever, but we refuse to let go of them. And the problem is, you accumulate more and more and more. That's when it becomes a problem. Because now you don't have the place to keep all those things you've consumed, all those things you've obtained throughout your life. Now let's move forward. You have a home full of junk, basically, is what you have. You won't admit that, but that's what you have. Now, our lives have an expiration. You got to realize the burden that you may be placing on a family member at that particular time. You got to realize that their obsessions with things, or excuse me, your obsession with things or not their obsession with things. They may not see value in the things that you've accumulated. Because the things that you've accumulated may not actually have value whatsoever, other than sentimental value. The reason you purchased it, the person you purchased it for, whatever the case is, it usually boils down to just only being of sentimental value. But when our lives reach term and it's time to check out, who has to deal with all that accumulation? Who has to deal with all that junk? Typically, it's a family member. You want to place that burden on a family member if you don't have to. It's bad enough that you're no longer here. And that's the reality of life. We're here once, we're gone tomorrow. So that storage unit you have, filled from the floor to the ceiling with junk, what you gonna do with that? While you're still here, start going through that stuff. Start going through that stuff now. Itemize everything you have. That will make it much easier for that family member later on down the road. Much easier for them. Don't determine what you want to keep and what you want to salvage. No. Determine what has any value whatsoever. Otherwise, eliminate it. Start doing that today while you have the ability, while you have the insight, while you have the mind to do so. Don't wait till you're on your sick bed, possibly checking out. Don't wait till you possibly have a mental deterioration going on where you don't even know what you have. You don't even know where such and such is, and such is again. I'm sure you have valuable information that's pertinent to a family member, such as combinations to safes, locations of safes, locations of properties that you have, deeds to properties, assets that you've accumulated over your lifetime. 9 times out of 10, other family members have no clue of what you have. Start itemizing your valuables so that they can be passed on, so that they can be worked out with the right family members. Start doing that now while you have the mentality to do so. While you can have certain family members walk through your storage units, walk through your home from the front to the rear, and go through all your contents. I've seen homes that are stockpiled with junk, stockpiled with cases and containers of stuff. The owner of that stuff usually doesn't even remember what they have, or what's over there in that corner, or what's behind that couch, or what's under that bed. They've accumulated things for so many years, decades upon decades. Why not go through it now, where you have family members that are able and willing to assist you? Because I guarantee you one thing, and one thing for sure. When you expire, first thing that's going to happen is a garbage dumpster is going to be pulled up to your home. A garbage dumpster is going to be pulled up to your valued storage unit. The one you're probably paying $200 a month on. Full of things that are completely outdated. Because no one has the time to go through your junk. The whole lot would be considered junk to that family member. And if you were alive to see them toss out all your junk, that would hurt you. So why not take today and determine what is junk and what isn't, so that they can itemize the things that can be passed on to other family members, the things that can be turned into an asset for the next family member, things that can be cherished by other family members, things that can be sold point blank to meet the needs that you possibly left behind. Who knows, you might be leaving debt behind. But you might have something valuable amongst all that junk and garbage to take care of that said debt. But no one will ever know. Because in one big swoop, all your items are going to end up in the dumpster. Like I told you, your passions are not their passions. They won't see value in something that you saw 20 years ago. Something that you had from 20, 30 years ago is not relevant today. Unless it's truly an asset. Unless it's truly a commodity that's held value over this time. But don't put that extra burden on your family members, on your loved ones, on your spouse, on your husband, on your significant other, by not itemizing what you have, by not downsizing the things that you have today while you're able to. Life is going to be tremendously burdensome for them once you check out. They don't want to have to go digging through miles and miles of old receipts and papers looking for the deed to the home, looking for the pink slip to the 3 cars in the garage. It's not worth anything today. They're going to donate those cars. They're going to junk those cars. They're going to sell those cars for pennies on the dollar to get rid of a headache for something that you're choosing to hold on to just to hold on to. So like I said, it's commonplace to want to have things in this life. There used to be a saying that he who dies with the most wins. That's not the answer. That's not the answer to anything. Because all that junk is going to end up at the local junkyard. Unless you specify what you have and what it's worth. And to whom you're going to leave it to. Or to whom you like it to end up with. Whether it be donated, whether it be refurbished and sold, whether it be chucked out the back window. It don't matter. But lessen the burden on your family member by handling those things now. Because you may be young and you may be in the process of accumulating a lot of things. But life goes fast. When you hit that certain number, you're going to realize it firsthand. At a certain point, life speeds itself along.
Hey, baby. Hey.
Life speeds itself along. And you're going to realize, what happened to all my time? I had time to get this junk sorted. I had time to finish these 6 cars. I had time to get that investment going. I had time to figure out what kind of money I got in the bank. But now I lost the account numbers and I don't know who has what. What bank has my money and what bank doesn't. Get your life in order today. Get your life in order right now. Don't wait till you're on your last breath. Because I'm sure some of the things you do have are very valuable. But if no one knows how to get to them, how to access them, then what's the point? If it can't be found, then it doesn't exist. You know who's going to locate your goods? The homeless man rummaging through the garbage. That's who's going to locate your goods. I don't think you want that to happen, do you? So take this time and make some plans with someone that you trust and love. And have them help you organize your junk. Your junk. We have to call it that until we know what you have. Until we know what's itemized as an asset. Until we know what's itemized as valuable. Until we know what to realize is something that's cherishable by you and that another family member would love to have, which is a part of you, a memory of you. I'm sure you have lots of things that are sentimental. Well, if you don't direct them to certain individuals, then the person that needs to have that sentimental item will never receive it. I borrowed a handsaw from my neighbor, which happens to be my mailman, the other day. He gave me a handsaw that was from the 1970s. He told me it was his father's saw. He's still holding on to that saw. That's of sentimental value. But if the next person doesn't know that was your father's saw, then that saw is junk in the next person's eyes. It's going to end up in the landfill is where it's going to end up. So don't be a person that has a huge accumulation throughout their entire home. A huge accumulation of things in their storage unit. Multiple cars that are not done and are not getting worked on. And that have parts that you don't even know where they belong to or what vehicle they belong to. Start organizing your stuff. Start organizing your life. If you don't do it for you, do it for the next person, that next family member that's going to have to go through your garbage. Thank you for your time. Keeping it all the way peanut for you. Peace out.